Hey everyone, Mah-Dry-Bread here. Pokemon Red with only one Onix was strangely fast. Let's follow that up with something completely new. Today's the day that we figure out would I be able to beat Pokemon Gold with a team of only one Houndour. So believe it or not, this is actually my first time doing a challenge with a fire type. I could hardly believe it when people started pointing it out, but yeah, I just haven't had to use one yet outside of multi-Pokemon runs. Houndour is a fire and dark type with decent special attack, and since Gen 2 is one where all dark moves are special, I figure this might be usable. By level up, there's a lot of pretty solid moves, so I'm sure we'll deal a good amount of damage overall, but by TM we don't really learn much type coverage. There's a few moves in here, but I get the feeling that Flamethrower and Crunch will be our bread and butter. Like always, I'm writing the script as I go through the challenge, so all of this part is being written before I've started. Everyone comment down below and guess if I can win or not. I'm confident that I can win the run, but with our low health and defense, I'm not sure that we can get past Red's Snorlax. Let's explain the rules. In combat, I can only use Houndour. I'll need other Pokemon to use HMs, but I won't be allowed to use any of those Pokemon in battle. No glitches or exploits, no items in battle, only Pokeballs, held items, and items outside of combat are allowed. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. Let's do this. So right off the bat, I used the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace Cyndaquil with Houndour so that we can do the whole run with it. I picked to replace Cyndaquil so that our rival would have Feraligatr, probably the hardest for us to fight. I name him Growlithe, because that's hilarious. Alright, so the first thing we have to do in the Gold run is just to get to the first city, but there's nothing really dangerous on our way. In fact, once we get to town, we get to do the Bellsprout Tower, and as a fire type, it's super easy. This gives us some much needed experience before the Flying Gym. Considering they use Mud Slap, I probably couldn't win if we're too underleveled. Naturally, by the time we got to the Flying Gym, it was an easy first try. The guy doesn't have a single Pokemon over level 9, there's not really much he can do. Now let's rush south because the Bug Gym should be a piece of cake. On my way through Union Cave, I thought we'd have a much harder time with the mandatory hiker in there, but he didn't really end up putting up much of a fight at all. Our high special attack must be carrying us through here. Bugsy was an easy first try as well, although we did take a lot more damage than in the Flying Gym. Still, it's a Bug Gym and we're a fire type, it couldn't be that hard. After that was our rival, but this one wasn't even close. He has Water Gun and we only have Ember and Smog. We can hardly deal any damage to water types. I'll have to come back here at level 20 with Bite. Naturally, after doing that, we won pretty easily. It's pretty nice having two moves with the same type attack bonus so early in the run. Alright, now that we have the money, I went ahead and bought Charcoal from the shop. In Gen 2, holding this increases your fire move's power by 10%, so it doesn't hurt to get this early. Next up is Whitney's normal gym. I had an idea that I'd go in and use Roar to our advantage, forcing Miltank to switch out before she can build up Rollout's power. But we ended up being slower than Miltank and we went down because of it. Let's try this again when we're a little bit faster. The moment we were finally fast enough to win, it didn't matter because we got a one-shot from a crit anyway. Why does this always happen? I swear, it's like the challengers are pulling a prank on me. Okay, well, at least the one after that is the Ghost Gym and we're Dark type with Bite, so that was pretty easy. But now it's time for a change of pace. For the first time that I can think of in one of these Pokemon challenges, we actually couldn't beat Chuck. Normally, he's super easy, but he resists all of our moves, and he can one-shot us with Dynamic Punch. Even when we get super lucky and he misses a ton, we still don't get all that close to taking him down. Thankfully, this part of the game is pretty non-linear, so let's just go try the Steel Gym instead. Once we got there, it ended up being a one-shot sweep. This has to be the first time we've had an easy time with a Steel Gym and a hard time with a Fighting Gym, right? Anyway, to get to the Ice Gym, we have to go through the Rocket Hideout. This place is pretty easy, and there's no real boss fight to cover here, but this at least gives us a chance to fight quite a few trainers, so that we can hopefully get strong enough to take out the Poliwrath on runs where he misses a couple Dynamic Punches. First though, I go to the Ice Gym while we're in town, and it's about as easy as it always is. Man, we're really breezing through this run so far. I don't think I've had a run go by this fast since Ghastly in Gen 1. Speaking of a breeze, on our very next attempt at the Fighting Gym, Poliwrath went down thanks to missing 2 Dynamic Punches. It still took 3 Flamethrowers to take him down, though. I'm starting to worry about the Blastoise fight with Red. Are we gonna have the firepower? Literally? That wasn't intentional. Next is the Radio Tower rival fight, and we completely mopped the floor with them. Honestly, I don't know what to say at this point. Outside of a bit of trouble with Whitney and Chuck, we've been crushing these fights. With that done, we move on to the final gym in Johto, the Dragon Gym, and we one-shot swept most of it. Even when Kingdra came out, all they used was Smokescreen, and we still never missed, so it didn't end up mattering. Look, I know this is Gen 2 and the levels are pretty low, but I really didn't think it would be this easy. Last before the Elite Four is the final rival fight. We got hit once, and it was by water guns, so we were fine. Yes, the rival this late in the game is still using water gun. Okay, well, here's our stats before the Elite Four. We're only level 54 with a Pokemon that has roughly the same base stats as a first form starter, so surely we can't just win it now, right? I mean, I almost hope not. Or else this video is going to be so short that everyone gets mad at me for it. I've never gotten to the Elite Four on page 2 of my script. Make your final guesses on if we can win this or not. Let's do this. First is Psychic Trainer Will. We had no problems with him at all thanks to his team being weak to Crunch and Flamethrower. Second is Poison Trainer Koga. There was actually a moment here where I thought we could lose the battle because we got hit by Toxic, but we have Feint Attack, so his double teams can't actually stop us from hitting him, and the whole team went down pretty fast. Third is the Fighting Trainer Bruno. This is when our reign of terror finally has to end, though, because he's got fighting and ground moves for us to deal with. I get the feeling that we're just a few levels away from sweeping him, though, so that's the most sensible solution. Believe it or not, though, we actually had to level up quite a bit for this fight. It didn't take too long because Will is easy to grind against, but it actually took 8 levels before we could blast our way through his team. Fourth is Dark Trainer Karen. We got confused at the start of the fight, but outside of that little stumble, they pretty much couldn't hurt us, so we just spammed Crunch and Flamethrower until we won. Finally, Pokemon Champion Lance. You'd think Water Onix would actually be a problem at the start, but every time he seems to just use Rain Dance, so he went down fast. Aerodactyl's a problem, though. His Rock Slide always does a ton of damage to us, enough that even when we get past him, we can't handle the many Hyper Beams that the rest of his team throws at us. We can't learn Protect yet to block them, and Crunch seems to be our strongest move for the dragons, so I'll just have to grind a bit more. The next time we get to the Pokemon Champion after some grinding, we had just landed at level 71. This time Aerodactyl ended up being a one-shot with Crunch, so that's one big problem down. The first Dragonite missed his Thunder Wave thanks to all AI status affliction moves having a built-in miss chance in Gen 2, so we took him down fast. The second Dragonite never got a chance to try for a move thanks to a critical Crunch, and Charizard was next. Crunch almost took him down, his Hyper Beam shockingly did almost no damage to us, and we finished him off. Last was his level 50 Dragonite, but he just used Safeguard, so we easily hit him twice for the win. With that win, we get into the Hall of Fame and beat the run, but you know it's not over yet. Pokemon Gold includes just about all of Kanto in it, including 8 gyms. Now, 7 of those gyms are always super easy since they're about only on par with the Elite Four members that we've already beaten, so there isn't much to show you here, other than the last 2 real fights in Kanto, Blue and Red. First with Blue. Pidgeot was a one-shot with Flamethrower, and second was Rhydon, who thankfully goes down in one crunch. If he had hung on, he'd probably one-shot us with Earthquake. Water Onix is next, and he probably could have one-shot us, but he used Rain Dance instead, so 2 crunches ended him. Arcanine had me worried because he has Extreme Speed, basically a stronger version of Quick Attack. We lost almost half of our health before he went down. Alakazam was a one-shot with Crunch, and last was Exeggutor, who quickly went down to Flamethrower. With that fight done and a few more trainers fought, we got up to level 80, so here's our stats before the red fight. It's crazy to think that we're this far into the run and we still don't have any TM moves, but we haven't really needed them up till this point. By our usual run standards, our stats and moves aren't that bad, although I think it's going to take a lot more levels before we can beat Blastoise. Time to find out. Things start incredibly well as we crit Flamethrower on Pikachu to one-shot him before he ever got a chance to hurt us. Second was Blastoise, and I thought it would end here, but not only did we crit Crunch, but he was just using Rain Dance, so we got an extra hit taking him down. Third is Espeon, who did a bit of damage with Swift before going down to Crunch. Then Snorlax came out and... yeah, this ain't happening. That's how little Flamethrower did? He instantly used Amnesia to make Flamethrower weaker, hits Body Slam to wreck us, I tried using Roar to make him go away, and then Charizard finished us. That was brutal. Alright, time to grind. Haven't had to grind much in this run, and I'm super lucky about that, but this grind is still pretty slow. Look, there's no avoiding it. When you get to a super high level, it gets slow to grind. It doesn't help that I haven't been great about collecting rare candies on this run. I never seem to remember where they are in Gen 2 for some reason. So, I used to sometimes promote my friends' videos while I would grind, but I pretty much stopped doing that because I didn't see a point in making every video a few minutes longer just by saying, and then I had to grind for hours all the time. So, I guess I'll just use this chance to update you on my life. On this coming March 30th, 2021 of course, I'm going to hit 10 years of daily uploads. I like to call it a video a day minimum because my actual average is something like 9 or 10 videos a week. But hey, that's probably a world record for a show run by one dude from his home. I'll probably do a big stream on Twitch TV that day to celebrate, linked in the description, and also a vlog here on YouTube to talk in detail about my feelings on a decade of daily videos. My schedule might change around then, I'm not totally sure what I want to do yet. I'm still trying to figure that out. Just know that these challenge videos are still going to come out every single Saturday, there's not going to be a break from them or anything. Oh, and if you want me to plug something, then go to my Instagram in the description. It's pretty much just tons of pictures of my cats and me hanging out with my cats. Alright, let's get back to winning this run. After the grind, I made sure to convert tons of my cash into coins to buy the TM for Fire Blast. It's not as accurate as Flamethrower, but it's not too bad, and I probably only need it for Snorlax anyway, so it's worth getting. At level 90, we give it another try. This time, we one-shot Pikachu without needing a crit, and Blastoise went down to the same process as the last time, including the crit. Espeon was a one-shot with Crunch, and it's back to Snorlax. Fire Blast didn't do much, and he still used Amnesia, so I roared, but not before he hit a Body Slam for just over 100 damage. That brought out Charizard, who ended up going down in one critical Crunch. Snorlax was sent back out, so I went for Fire Blast again and ended up doing a ton of damage. We almost went down to Body Slam, but we were able to finish off Snorlax. We have almost no health left, but last was Venusaur, who was a one-shot with Fire Blast, winning us the final battle of the game. Well, that was a lopsided run. We hardly had to grind it all to beat all of Johto, then we had to get to level 90 before we could beat Red. I hope you guys like that run. For next Saturday's Pokemon Challenge, we're going to be doing the much-requested Pokemon Fire Red with 1 Ralts. As always, I'm looking forward to your suggestions in the comments, in the challenge request section of my Discord channel, and on Twitter. Subscribe, ring the bell, stay tuned. If you want to see me do more challenges like this, please let me know in the comments or on Twitter. I can always use more ideas from you guys on what I should do next. Also, check out the playlist in the description if you want to see all the Pokemon challenges that I've already uploaded. If you guys want to see more Pokemon stuff from me, my friend What a Geek and I have done randomizer playthroughs of Heart Gold and Soul Silver, Black and White, Red and Blue, and now we're doing Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire over in his channel, linked in the description. You can also watch myself, What a Geek and Gooset, playing Pokemon here on my channel. We've done Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon X, and now we're doing my first time playing Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Blue Rescue Team. Also come to my Twitch TV streams and tell me that this video sent you. It's always cool to hear how you found the channk. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and until next time, have a nice day.